Here are 4 things that I look for out of every investment operator relationship that I have in my program. So I've developed a program where I work with IOs or investment operators around the world where they operate certain investments for me because they are the experts. Just to give you a brief overview, I want to be a passive income investor in every single situation and investment that I'm in. If that's my target, I always want to be the guy that provides the capital or maybe the asset and plugs into a system that already works. And I'm not trying to develop something new. I'm looking for investment operators who are already operating a profitable investment model. The reason that I want somebody profitable is because they've proven to me already indirectly that they can be profitable using this specific strategy. And so if they've been using that strategy, I want to make sure that they've been doing it for a while, of course, right? I want to find somebody who has a solid track record over the course of several years, sometimes even decades, depending on the industry. And I want to find somebody who can legitimately produce a profit. Once I've found that person, there are 4 things that I look for. And the first thing is logical cash flow. Whenever you have a deal, you can't have a deal that's super convoluted. You're not really sure who's making what. You always have to outline very specifically and very clearly which party is doing what and which party is making which cash flow, because otherwise it can get very, very messy. The reason that I want to outline everything up front is because I don't want to have any discrepancies later on. I don't want 6 months to pass and then I get into an argument with my investment operator because I thought I was going to get paid here and he thought he was going to get paid there, and it's just a mess, right? You want to outline everything, every possible scenario right off the bat. And of course, don't take too much time doing this. Just outline the most likely scenarios and then maybe less likely scenarios, but don't spend just months and years trying to figure out every possible scenario or situation that could occur. You want to make sure that you're protected, but don't overdo it as well, right? You want to make sure that you're maintaining a good relationship with these people. And if you're too difficult to work with, some of them, they may just not want to work with you. What I found is if there's logical cash flow in this investment for both parties, if I'm providing an asset, let's say we're doing exotic car rentals, I could buy the asset, I could buy the Lamborghini or the Ferrari, I place it in their business and they operate the business. So I know as the passive investor, I don't handle any of the clients, I don't handle any of the marketing, any of the sales. They handle all of that for me. Now, I'm probably going to have to pay them a pretty big profit split for that, but I'm okay with that because, again, I'm a passive investor. I want to make sure that I'm staying on the side of passive investor and I don't want to put my hand into things. That's when it really starts getting messy. And because we have logical cash flow, we know exactly the amounts that I'm making every month and the amounts that this other party is making every month, the operator. So if they know what they're getting paid, if I know what I'm getting paid, it really makes a nice situation where everything is clear and everything makes sense. Now, the second thing that I look for is mutual respect. Out of all my investment operators, the ones that tend to make me the most money is where we have the highest level of respect. Now, I don't know why it's like that, but we typically just see each other as very serious business people. And so when we have conversations about business, we can talk at a very serious level. We can talk at a very high caliber business conversation, and we're not really messing around. So the people that I have the most respect for in the industry, they tend to make me a lot more money. And I don't know why that is, but I think there's something about mutual respect where you guys really respect each other and you want to preserve that relationship and you want to make sure that it continues for a very long time. So I think they just put a little bit more attention on that investment specifically, and they want to make sure that it produces really, really well. Because if they're providing good returns for me and my investors, they know that we're going to bring in more investment capital and we're going to help their business grow in turn. The third thing that I make sure is present in every single investment operator relationship is a mutual benefit. So I want both parties to benefit out of this, right? I don't want this to be something where I'm providing an asset and I'm making 99% of the income and the operator is getting 1%. He's not really incentivized to keep running a profitable business because he's just getting 1% of it. So I want to make sure that both parties are benefiting. And whenever I'm looking for an investment operator, I'm not really looking for industries that I just want to be in. I'm like, oh, hey, I want to be in solar, so I'm going to go into solar. No, I find industries where there's an opportunity for mutual benefit. I want both parties to very directly benefit from this investment. And those are the investments that I like to make, because they know if I invest, they're going to benefit. And I also know if I invest, I'm going to benefit from that investment. They're operating the investment for me. I'm oftentimes just providing capital or maybe providing an asset. And then we're coming together to create this team where they have all the expertise, I don't have to go out and learn all these things. They're just going out and operating, or they just do what they're already doing, and I just plug myself into the system that's already working, that's already producing, and it's cash flowing for me as well. And so that provides me a very safe environment for my investment, because I know that both of us are benefiting from this relationship. But I also don't want to be in a situation where just I'm benefiting, because they may feel cheated. They may feel like they should be benefiting more. They may not even operate my investment that well, just because they feel like, you know, I'm the only one benefiting. It doesn't really benefit them to keep doing that. So I want to make sure that both parties are benefiting, and they're benefiting in a significant way. Make sure that everybody's happy in that scenario, because you both need each other. At the end of the day, he needs the capital and you need the investment operator. Now, the fourth thing is I want to make sure that there is long-term value. So sometimes you have an investment opportunity where you just pay an upfront fee to get started, and that's it. And then the investment operator isn't getting anything else. And I see a bit of a problem with that. So for example, let's say you're investing with somebody who has online stores and they want to run an Amazon FBA store for you. And that's great. And FBA, by the way, is fulfilled by Amazon, which means you're buying physical inventory, you're sending it to Amazon, it's housed in their warehouses, and then they're doing all the fulfillment. So that last mile fulfillment, they're handling all of that. You're not drop shipping. In this situation, if you pay somebody, let's say $50,000 to set up an Amazon FBA store for you, and let's say they're like, you know what, we're just going to charge you $50,000 up front. Don't even pay us anything else. Like, we don't want any of your profits. We don't want any of that. We just want the $50,000 up front. Well, to me, that's actually a red flag, because I know that they have no incentive to make sure that I have all the right products on my store. They have no incentive to make sure the customer service inquiries are taken care of. They have no reason to continue managing my store unless maybe they just really like me, or maybe it's my friend or something. But at the end of the day, I would stay away from investments like that, because it's just not beneficial for them. We just talked about benefiting both parties. If there's no long-term value for that party, they're probably going to drop off on the customer service. Just saying. So I would always make sure that both parties are benefiting from stuff like this, because at the end of the day, you want to have a long-term benefit. And if it means that you have to give them 10 or 20 or 30, maybe even 50% of your profits every month, but they're going to make sure that they're working hard and they're running your store and they're making sure that all the best products are on your store and you're selling out really quick, that's a huge benefit. You're going to make a lot more money than trying to grab 95% of the profits every single month and only giving them 5%. They're just not going to be really incentivized to run your store, because the next guy is probably giving them 20 or 30%. So they'd rather spend their time making 30% of the profits instead of just making 5% on yours. So make sure when you're negotiating those things, make sure there's long-term value for both parties, and definitely outline those on paper, have everything in contract, just to make sure you're buttoned up. Alrighty guys, those are the 4 things that I look for when I'm looking for an investment operator to partner with. And I always want to make sure that they're present in order to make sure that this investment is stable and it produces consistently for me. And it's worked for me so far, and I hope it works for you. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.